Okay, downside, I have decided from not having a template layout or being organized, I am doing a part two of this because I left out a few very important things. Okay, update. I am such the horrible aunt because my niece actually turned 18. I said 19 or 20, but I'm actually always probably going to think she's 16 because she's one of the ones um, that she still looks the same at that age. Okay, so I'm going to jump into this part two. So I wanted to go over just a little bit before I tell you what makes the part of that's so important, which is basically worth. Okay, worth. That's what I want to make a point of what I missed. Really, really stressing this one area of what I want to talk about. Okay, so I'm gonna back it up, and I had mentioned that um, my friends, the one friend that I told you, the Italian one with her double D bra size, she had the boyfriends 24/7. And I had mentioned that this is one of, I don't know to say a role model on what I thought about relationships, but I think at the time I really thought, not to say that it meant that's how much you love somebody, is how much time you spend with them, but it is an association with love. But the other interesting thing to note is because I was so drawn to that, that model is that my dad and my stepmom, who I think had a very peaceful, pretty loving relationship up until the very end, which there were a lot of things that ended up, not a lot of things, a few that ended up into their divorce, which was my stepsister, who was manic depressive, and she had a lot of different, ups and downs, and a lot of things that stressed their relationship. So there are a couple of different reasons um, that their relationship did not work out, and that's a very another long story. And also, he may have also had a love interest that I found out about, that he questioned, the situation, so of his current marriage. And then also, in case you don't know, so this is my stepdad and my Filipino mom, who I grew up with from 6 to 19. And then my mom, this is where probably a lot of my abandonment issues came through, because she, in a way, part of the story, right, is she sold us to my dad. Basically, in a way, she was a narcissist and basically said, if you give me the kids, I will give you the house. So that, I think I made that already into another video. But you can also listen to my episode with my friend Rocky, and it's on narcissistic abuse in the First Responder series. So I talk a little bit about my mom there. Okay, so it's interesting that I gravitated to that model I saw from my friend. Okay, so I wanted you to know that I had those there, but I was of the mindset in the culture of having a boyfriend. The focus of, this is why I say, is that a lot of people, I think this still goes on now, is do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and are you going to college? Right? That's what they asked you during that time. And it still goes on now. So it's almost like the roots of, that's where everything begins there, on focusing on either a soulmate, getting married, having kids. All of these sorts of things kind of like become imprinted or programmed into us, and we are just used to these types of situations, questions, assumptions, right? Not everybody wants to grow up, get married, have a kid, go to college. Um, all of these things, okay? The structure, conventional and traditional. And so that's also why, because I didn't always feel like that was all what I wanted to do, um, I've just seen how I can blend traditional concepts with untraditional concepts. And I will go into that more. Yes, I have done, I mean, obviously, we have a child now, 15, and I always wanted to meet somebody who loved me as much as I loved him. And so found that in my request to the universe of a responsible skateboarder. But also in realizing along the life journey, that is for another show, these different relationships we will have in our lives, even when you meet with somebody, the friendships and the different things and the bonds. Okay. So people can have all their different thoughts about what they want to say about that, but I grew up with my dad, and then my dad's, I'm sorry, my mom's remarried husband. So I've always had a lot of male friendships that obviously did not involve sex. Okay, so that's another part of being untraditional, being in a committed relationship and having male platonic friends. Okay, that's something I know is going to change, and I'm seeing that already being more acceptable. Okay, so now I'm going into, you just heard me say, the focus of finding somebody and the surrounding all of that. So I associated, this is a very important part, is that she, my friend, she was being desired and wanted. And so I, in a way, right? And I, in a way, thought that a person, right? A person, a man, uh, made me feel valuable being desired. So basically, I didn't have really any boyfriends, for real boyfriends. I'm kind of glad in a way in high school. And so I felt like I sucked, right? So not feeling white enough, not feeling pretty enough, and wasn't getting that kind of attention. So this being said, again, when this being said, that when I did get any sort of attention or anything as an adult, even in my 20s, the few times or whatever I did, because remember, I was kind of putting off the energy that I wasn't white enough and didn't feel these things about myself. If I did get any sort of attention, even somebody liking me or talking to me, I would think, like, oh, he thinks I'm pretty. Like, I must be worth something. So I was attaching my value to that attention. That is an area that I wanted to share with you because as an adult, that changed. And when I worked on myself, I didn't focus on that so much. Okay, I think just some of these ways that I was just so stupid. And really, again, it's all because of that is the focus. Looking to, it's not looking to get attention, but as a result of not getting that attention. Okay, maybe if my dad had said that I was beautiful, maybe if we had developed that relationship of my inner character, which my stepdad in a way kind of helped me with that very subtly. He wasn't trying to, but that sets the stage for building myself. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this right here. If I do end up thinking of anything else to add, I'll probably come back to this, but this is, like I said, everything, the roots of who I am, where it started, where the low self-worth started, probably actually with my mom, then some, my dad low points, calling me stupid and all the time, wanting to run away and die, and all these sorts of things that started there with a definitely low sense of self worth and self esteem. Okay, so I just wanted to go over that with you to start there, and we will go on along this video journey, and I will explain to you how, as I grew and then into my 20s, how all of these things started to change about myself. Okay, talk to you next time.